beautiful, amazing people. How are you this special day, at least for me? And I say it's special because we are finally on day 100 out of 100 days for the challenge of DailyUI. And of course, for those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Eleftheria. I am a front-end developer, and for the last 100 days I've been doing the DailyUI challenge. If you're not familiar with the DailyUI challenge, it's basically a challenge that for 100 days you get an email with a theme and you can design something based on that theme. But for me, I didn't design something, I code that something. And now that we are on day 100, the theme was to recreate the DailyUI challenge. But again, I thought that we could play a little bit with it and we could twist a little bit the theme and try to do something different. We will try to make or recreate the DailyUI challenge or the DailyUI website for smartphones. So I did that, and you can see how it originally is and how it looks on phones. So I will now try to recreate this exact theme on my CodePen. Wish me good luck. This is going to be a big project. I hope that you are sitting somewhere conveniently and you are ready to code with me. Of course, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. This is day 100 and we coded 100 different themes, but after that video some other really cool videos are coming, so really stay tuned. Of course, in the description box you will find all the links that I'm going to be using, and you can also find this exact same project. So do that, click on the description box as well. Alright, let's start. I'm really hyped for this project. I don't know if you can see that, or I don't know if you can hear that from my voice, but I'm really excited to start coding. I've done a bunch of things. So I'm going to show you. Actually, it's not a bunch of things, it's just one or two things. I have the DailyUI here as a title, which again is like the exact same thing as here. And of course, I have written some stuff in my CSS. For the HTML, I have an overflow of scroll. This is something that I've been using for the first time, at least for this challenge. And then I have a WebKit with scroll bar. This will help me as I have a lot of things here. I will be able to scroll without seeing the scroll bar. I have a body, background white, text align center, because I've noticed that most of the things are in center. Maybe only this part right here has a text align on left, but it's okay. We will keep working with the center. Then box sizing, and for the theme, this is what I'm always been using. I changed the font family to Lado because I saw that they also are using like this font family. What else do we have? Okay, then I went again on this website and I noticed the colors. So I did an inspect, and let's go here for example, and you can see that this color is right here. Most of the blues are this blue 1864 FF, whereas they also have a gray color for this kind of letters, and this is a strong one, so it will have like a font weight like 90, but this is also like a gray color. Let me see if I can find it. You can go. Okay, so one of the gray colors that they use is this one, but again, because this is strong, maybe we cannot see it very clear. If you go again to compute it, you will find that probably this is the color. It says border bottom color. And alright, so this is the color they use here. The font family Lato, and the font size is 12.83 pixels. And you know, I did that, so I already know what it's going to be my header one, the color for it, and the font weight. And when they say strong, it's font weight 900, sorry. And for the H2, I'm going to have a margin left. Again, I have a color, a font size, and a font weight. I've also noticed quite a few things for the P, span, and A. When it's visited, it has a blue color. So this is a blue color. And there is a class, a header 1, that I'm going to be using really soon here. And for the header 1, I only have a font weight and a line height of 15 pixels. The working area is pretty much the exact same thing that I've always used for my working area. So it has a width, a height, a margin, a background color of white. The color here is this this gray color, and then I have a padding, border radius, and an overflow Y scroll, in order, as I said earlier, to be able to scroll this thing. For the empty button, which is also the last class in the CSS, I have everything with important, only the border radius, okay. So I have everything with important because they need to be important in order to change the empty buttons. And for the JavaScript part, I don't have anything. Okay, let's start coding, and I will keep this DailyUI open. I will have like a second screen so I can watch some things there, but at the same time I will code here, so you will see the result right here. Okay, now what do I want? Let's start typing. The first thing that I want is to fill this header 1. I'm going to have become a better designer. Here are some break lines, but also I need to add here a style. I will have this style as margin top, and 60 pixels. Cool. And right after that, I'm going to copy this thing one more time. And let's go here and here. I will change the class to small text, and in a bit we are going also to write that class, because so for now it's empty. But I will create also a span. Oops. Okay, like that. And inside this span I'm going to add a few lines that I found on the DailyUI. So these are exactly the same things, and it says become a better designer in 100 days. DailyUI is a series of daily design challenges, design inspiration, and needs surprise rewards, and it's 100% free. Alright, now this should be a little bit smaller, so that's why I added this class. And let's go to the CSS to write that class. Most probably the first thing that I will have to add is maybe a color. Let me think about it. Okay, let's do it like a margin top first, better. And I will have it as a 2.5 rem. I will also make it this as an important, so I don't need this one here. And I'm going to copy that and paste it below, so we'll have a margin bottom as well. It's going to be the same. I will add a line height, maybe not a line height, maybe a line height it's okay. No, never mind. Let's also add the line, and now I think that we are done with that. Alright, I prefer it that way, so let's keep going with the HTML. We have the span, we have the div, okay, and now it's time to create a form. Form like that. So this is going to be where the email is, and I will add the layout column and layout align of center and center, And most probably I will also need a class here, so I will leave it just like that. Okay, then let's create a div. Div, and inside this div I obviously need my input command code pen input with the type of email, of course. Yep. Okay, and the name, let's say, is going to be email, and the placeholder is going to say email address, and the address is not written correctly. Alright, so we have also the placeholder, and then max length is going to be 1 to 8. It's going to be required. Cool. And the class is going to be here in email. I will write that class also in a bit. First, let's just check if we have everything. Okay, so div form. I'm gonna add here like another div. Okay. Oh my god, why is my internet so slow? Anyway, I will need here a style, and for that style I'm going to add another class. It's going to say like tiny text, so let's probably also add this class with small text. Okay, so I'm going to have a small text and a tiny text. For the tiny text I'm going to have it like that. Okay, but maybe I don't need this in in a div. Maybe this will be better in a p. So let's drag this out of the form, and let's add inside the form again another div, but of course with a button this time. So let's do it like div and style, and I will delete this, and I will do an empty button here. And this again should be div. Alright, now we are cool. For the empty button I'm going to say like get started, and if you want in the empty button you can add like a type, let's say submit, but that's it. So as you can see, our button looks kind of cool, but we need to fix that email address, and we need to fix that part right here, because this thing isn't looking as it's supposed to be, and it should be looking something like this. So we need very small letters here, and we need also to change this. We need to have at least a border with the color of blue. So let's go back to the CSS and fill these classes. The first class that we should write, it's the small text. Let's go here, small text, margin top, margin bottom, and line height. I think that this is okay, we can work with that. So let's keep moving to the tiny text. Okay. What do we need here? Probably I need like a smaller font size. I will do font size of 0.75 em, and then I will also add the font weight. It's going to be 300, and a margin top, I want it to be a little bit upper, so it's going to be minus 15 pixels. And also a color, I'm going to be using the RGB, and I will fill it with 168 and 168 and 168. This is just a gray color and it's the same as the DailyUI website is using. Now as for the email, because we are not yet done, we have to write quite a few things. The first one is going to be the border color. Again, I'm going to use the RGB, and let's say it's 110, then 159, and then 255. Okay, cool. After that I will need a border radius, and it's going to be like 6 pixels, a font weight, which is going to be 300, another color. This color is going to be the same as this one. It's a very light gray color. Okay, after the color is done, maybe you can add the text align, but this is not super necessary because we've already added this at the top at the HTML. Anyway, let's add it on left this time and not in the middle. The padding is 0 pixels with 15 pixels, and the width is going to be like 305 pixels, whereas the height is going to be just like 41 pixels. And if you are wondering about where I found all these values, it's quite simple. I was in the website, I right click on the inspect, and I saw what properties they are using. So let's see the tiny text. Why? Okay, because this is a class. Oops. Okay, now it's better. For the style here, let me check one more time that everything is correctly as in the daily challenge. Maybe I can add in the button a margin here, like top 5 pixels. It's a very small margin, but it will look better, or at least in my opinion it will look better. Alrighty, let's keep going. I will delete this line here and I will leave some spaces here. Okay, so just this one tab inside. Cool. The other thing that I want is again copy this thing right here. Let's go. And do I need a class for the next thing? Probably no. I will just do it like that, and I will add an image. So I will do image, and okay, the image that I'm going to be adding is like this one. Cool. And then I have to add, like, it's this one, as you can see, but right after that I'm going to add an arrow, like a down arrow. So I'm going to paste one more time this thing right here, paste it just below, and this time we don't have an image, but we have an SVG. And it's very simple. You can right click on it and just copy it here. It will be this big thing, but it's going to be okay. So we need to add some styling for that SVG because it doesn't really look as in the website. So let's go to the CSS again, and after the email I am going to add the SVG with margin of 50 pixels and 160 pixels, and then minus 20 pixels. And maybe also I will fill it with the color of B0 and CAFF. Okay, SVG. Let's see what we've done, right? we have this button right here, and again, if you go to the DailyUI, you will see it. So we are in this spot right here. I'm going to inspect it one more time so you can see that. So this is the SVG that we copy and pasted. The next thing that we want is this part right here with the inspect. You can see it. Okay. So you have like this thing here, and we will try to recreate it. There are some things that they are strong, and then again everything else is the same blue color as it was up here. Alright. Let's go back to the HTML, and after that div, I'm going to copy one more time this thing right here and paste it just like that. Okay, what else now do we need to do is, of course, adding that H1 with the spans and everything. So this is going to be like that, but I will need to add the same class as I did here, so they will have the same styling. And maybe I can also add some style with margin top and make it like minus 50 pixels. Okay, that's even better. Let's keep working. It's like this thing right here, but now let's keep working with another category. I'm going to leave a comment here so it will be easier for you to understand it. We'll work with the sponsors. Okay. I was checking if I write that correctly, because I do so many mistakes when I write fast, and yeah. Okay, for the next thing, we will not use a row, but we will use a column, and I will keep the center and center like this is okay. I do like that one. Now, for the sponsors, of course, I will need to close the tag. We will very simply just use some images like that. Okay. And the first image is this thing. Okay, but I guess it will be better if we also had some style with a max height of 125 pixels, and then the margin is going to be maybe margin top. It's going to be like 40 pixels. Okay, and now I think that's quite okay. So we have the Disney and it looks like that. Really quickly, I'm going to add all the other images as well. Okay, that's it. And let's see what we have. So we have Disney, Netflix, Shopify, Microsoft, XD, Airbnb, and Verizon. And again, let's see the comparison with the DailyUI website. It's this one: Disney, Netflix, Shopify, Microsoft, XD, Airbnb, and Verizon. Again, if you inspect these elements right here, you can see the height. So for this one, the height is 33, and if you see here, I'm using 33. And again, it's the same for, let's say, Airbnb. You can see it has 54, and I used here the same 54. So let's keep going. The next thing that we have to do is add like this text right here, this blue text, and after this blue text we have 4 designers. So this is what we will work. After that, div. Okay, let's go one tab inside, and let's add a row. I will actually copy all these things and paste it here. So I have a row with layout and center. Header 1, it's okay. I will probably change the style margin top y minus, I don't need that, and let's also add a margin bottom because I know we will need that. Okay, and this time I will have another kind of header one, so it will be like this with font size of 30 pixels, and see what the designer breakline community is saying. It's this one, and now we are starting with the designers. Okay, and for the designers I'm going to do something similar as I did here, so I'm going to copy that one and of course close the div. Okay, I'm not sure I need this minus, so I can most probably delete it. Okay, for the first one I will need an image. Probably I will need some styling as well, but I will leave it like this for now. And then I will need a paragraph. Okay, that's it. And then we will go to the second one. So let me copy that comment here, paste it here, and I will say like first designer, because we have like 4 designers. I think that this will be a little bit easier. So for the first image, let's add it like that. Okay, and I saw that it's quite big, and I saw that it has a height of 66 pixels, so we'll keep that thing. Let's check it. Okay, I'm happy with that. But now the other thing that we have to create is also the paragraph here, which will be like that. Alrighty, let's check it. DailyUI is awesome. Okay, James Su, UI designer for Disney. Alright, that is pretty cool. Let's keep going with the second designer. I will do that a little bit quicker because I think that you now know the drill. Okay, you just adding images and then the paragraphs, and it's as simple as that. Alrighty, we have the first one, the second one, the third one designer, and the fourth one. And that's it. Let's see one more time how the DailyUI has it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. We are okay with that. I don't think that I have forgot something. Okay, maybe at the paragraph I can have like a small text or a tiny text, but I think that it is okay, so I will keep it like that. Let me minimize it. Okay, and let's keep working. I think that the next thing that I have to do is to add again something like that. So I will change the inside part for the header one. I will do it like this, and then the layout will be row, center, and again header one. This time the style is going to be margin top 50 pixels, margin bottom again 50 pixels, and that's it. Let's keep working with the challenges, so let's do it like that. Instead of designers, I'm going to write here challenges, and again these are like 4 challenges. I will need that part right here, so we'll copy it. Cool, and again I have three things this time, not four but three. The first one, I will name this are like first box, second box and third box. So for the first one, I'm going to have a header 1. Oh, come on. Okay, finally. I'm going to have a header 1, and I noticed that they have an icon. I was wondering if this is an image or if this is something else, but it's really just an icon thing. Anyway, it's simpler, it's better, it works fine, so alright. After that, there is also a paragraph with a style and margin top 0 pixels. Important, it has to be important, and a margin bottom the same, it has to be important, but it's 50 pixels. The class is a small text, and you have a span, you have a break line, and again a span. I will add the other two boxes as well. Let's do that very quickly. Okay. So it's going to be like that. Alright, let's see the result of this. You have box 1, daily UI challenges, and here create and share and surprise rewards. So I've already done that thing. The next thing that we need to do is to add again like the SVG that we did before. So I'm going to copy the SVG. I'm going here. Let's add a comment saying down arrow SVG. Okay, we are pretty happy with that. Let's check it. And it is what we want, so we will leave it as it is. Then the next thing that we want is again to just add another header, and to do so, let's minimize this thing. Okay, and let's copy one more time. This is going to have this blue style as most of the things have. So yeah. This time we are started working again with the email, so we'll have to do some copy and paste. Okay, we have header, we have margin top of 15. I don't think that we need a margin bottom, so I will delete that thing. Okay. Here we have a header 1 with a font size of 30 pixels and become a battery designer, and then a P, style, color, font size and font weight and line height, again with a span. CY over 100 and designers are taking the DailyUI challenge. Okay, so it's this one. We are missing something. Okay, we are missing this one. It should be column instead of row. Alright, let's go to the email. Yep, now we are correct. Let's go to the email. I did a form before, so we'll try to find that form. It's this one. I also included the P, but it's okay. So I'm going here. No, I don't actually need that thing. After the div, I'm going to add the form. And for the form, we are going to start with the same things, which means like a form with column and center and padding. Am I needing the small text again here? Maybe we can delete that thing and add our own style. This can be something like padding top minus 150 pixels, and it's got to be like important, and the input is going to be like type, email. I don't really need this div, so you can work with input, type, email, and then the placeholder, email address, maximum, required, and class. After that we have like another div with a margin top of 5, empty button type submit, and it says get started once again, so it's exactly the same as in the first time. Okay, and then we have here another P, but it's like after the form. The styling here is a bit different, so let's change that. We will have it as a margin top of 5 pixels, and then we can keep the class of tiny text. This time it has a different text, it's not the same as the first time, so you can have it like that, and this is also our paragraph. Cool. The next thing that we want is very simply a divider, but for the divider we have to do some things. So let's see what we have. We have this gray divider, but we need a blue divider and not this one. So let's type quite a few things for the divider as well, and then we will see the DailyUI website once again. The first thing I want is a width, and the next thing that I want is a margin left. For the margin left, I'm going to add, sorry, minus 15 pixels. You see why in a bit. And for the margin top, I will need something big, like 50 pixels. And for the margin bottom, I am going to use again 50 pixels. And last but not least, for the border, I'm going to be using like solid and 1 pixels, and for the RGB I will set it to 176 and 202, 255. Okay, I think that this will look a little bit better, so let's check it. Cool, it's this line right here. Alrighty, and let's go here and you will see how it is. So you have like this blue line right here. One of the last thing that we want, not the last, but one of the last thing that we want is to create this thing with the 4 like paragraphs, let's say it like that. And then the last thing that we want is the terms of service. So be a little bit more patient and let's just create these 2 divs. Back to the HTML and let's create a column. Okay, I'm going to name it, it's like how to. Okay, let's paste this column thing, and maybe I can change the layout align to center and start. Okay, and I will keep the, I will delete the class and the styling, and we will see if I need it. Let's close this div. Okay, and I will also need here to add a comment. Let's say first it's the about us. Okay, and in the about us there is a header 2, which is about us and FAQ, and after that I will have a paragraph. Cool. For the paragraph I'm going to have a class because I will need to change a little bit the styling, and I'm going to name this class how to. So the text that goes inside here is like this one, and that's it for the first one. I think it was like pretty simple. I will add the other 2 how-tos I don't think that this is a very nice title, but we can work on that. Okay, so we have this time in the second box become a sponsor with a paragraph again, and the third box, or the third how-to, which is your design, feature your design. So let's go and write that class, the how-to class. Just after the divider, I'm going to write how to, and I will need here a margin left with 20 pixels, and then a margin top with -5 pixels, a text align of left. That was the only part that had a text align left. This and also the email are the only parts that have a text align left. For the color, I'm going to use RGB, and it will be 1 to 2, 1 to 2, and 1 to 2. For the font size, I'm going to have it as a 14.5 pixels, and then for the font weight, I'm going to keep it as a 300 pixels. Alright, cool. Let's see what we have. Alright, I like it so far. I think that we have to add like the part with the icons that says like follow along. I didn't add like this part. So first let's add better the comment. Fourth, and the name of it will be like social media links. Cool. So I will have like the same class, but this time, as I've noticed, these icons are SVGs, which is cool because I can copy and paste them very easily and you don't have to add a lot of things. So I will do it like that. The first one is for Twitter, and then we have Facebook, Instagram, Dribble, and so on and so forth. Let me minimize these things so you can see better what I mean. Now these are looking like that, and I want to change that a little bit. It should be like more bluish. So I'm going back to the CSS and I will create a PSVG, and this time the fill is going to be RGB with 24 and 100 and 255. I'm using a fill instead of color because SVGs don't have a color property, but they have a fill property, and this is basically the same thing. Now as for the width, I'm going to have it in 30 pixels, and for the margin I'm going to add something like 2 pixels and 12 pixels on right, 2 pixels bottom, and 0 pixels on left. Okay, do we like that? We do like that, and I think it's pretty much like the same thing. The last thing that we have to do is to work a little bit with the terms of service. It's this thing right here and this thing right here. So let's start also working on that. Back to the HTML. I'm going to minimize this and minimize also like this. Cool. I will need to have a column, so let's take this one. Let's do it like that. Column, center, and this should be center again. Let's close that div. And let's also add the style of margin top and 50 pixels. Then I will have a paragraph. the class here is going to be the tiny text. Okay, and I can fill now everything for that paragraph. It's not a lot of things actually. And I will also need another paragraph because I noticed that it's like divided into two kind of different things. So it's that one. It's divided in that part right here and then in that part right here. So let's see it one more time. One part here, one part here. And do you believe it that we are actually done? I mean, that's awesome. And we recreated the same page in just like 200 lines of code. It's not that much. And for the CSS again, it's not that much. It's like 110 lines of code. And the JavaScript, we have nothing. And you guys just watch that. I mean, it is pretty much the same. Isn't that crazy? We did it quite fast and quite simple. I don't know if I can have like a comparison between these two things. Okay, let me just try and do it like that. But check them, like, isn't it the same thing? I mean, I really enjoyed working on that project, and I hope that you also enjoyed working on that project and that you learned quite a few things. So yeah, if you want to replicate that project, then you should follow me on my CodePen and you will find that project there. I will leave the link in the description box. And of course, if you enjoyed that video, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. The most important thing for me is subscribing and sharing that video. It took me a while to fix it and manage everything to be done like correctly, so I would really appreciate it if you could share it. Thank you very much. Keep watching as some great things are going to happen in my channel really soon. Have an amazing day. Don't forget to code along the day and see you really soon. Bye.